All right, everyone, welcome back. And today we are talking about the world's billionaire. And here is what I want to say. So when the internet came out back in 1999 or maybe 2000 or maybe even before that, when the internet was invented, very few people actually knew that the next list of Forbes billionaires are going to be the people who have formed some or the other company on the internet. Only few people knew about it, right? And we are right now at the same stage. We are at the early adoption of blockchain, and it is quite possible that same like now this is something that experts have been saying. Don't quote me on that. I'm nobody. I'm not an expert, but the experts have been quoting that the blockchain is internet 2.0. Okay, so what it means is the new companies, new products, new apps are being built. So are we going to see the new list of billionaires very soon? I'm going to be talking about that with proofs. Okay, with proof. I will give you some proof that I can see that happening already. But again, this is not a financial advice. This is not an investment advice. This is just my personal opinion, my perspective that I want to share with you. This no way means that it's an investment advice. So yeah, a disclaimer is really important. Otherwise, All right, so I just want to see who all is live and want to say hi to everyone. And then we start with this special show today. 7 people watching. Hit that like, guys. All right, so Umesh, hey brother, what's up? 24K. Kiran, hi Umesh. Count yourself in that list, brother. Oh yeah, I'm on the list for sure. Dinakar, what's up? Umesh, patience, knowledge, and then moving forward towards the list. One day, someday will be there. Amazing. I'm just going to quickly share this in the Telegram group once again. And then I'm going to give you some proofs and what exactly I'm talking about and why is this important live. So give me just 1 minute. I'm just quickly going to be sharing this in the, okay, over here. As you all know that YouTube does not send out the notification. That's the worst part of YouTube, You press the bell icon or you press whatever icon, but YouTube just does not send out the notification. All right, no problem. Without wasting any time, let's talk about today's topic, which are there going to be the next list of billionaires very soon, and that will be from crypto. Okay, and I want to give you some proof here. 9 people watching, amazing. Right, okay, I've said hi to everyone. Okay, so here is what I say. Okay, now definitely leave your opinion if you're right, if I'm right, or if there is anything that you want to correct, right? So what we have seen so far, now this is my Instagram profile, and a couple of days back I posted something like this, which is Web 2.0 apps and Web 3.0 apps. So when it comes to browser, you had a Chrome browser as Web 2.0, and then you have Brave browser. For storage, you have right now, I think it's Amazon or Google, right? And this is storage and IPFS. Video calling, you have Skype, and then you have Expertise. Operating system, you have Android and iOS, then you have Essentia, EOS, and Ethereum also. For messaging, you had WeChat and WhatsApp. The new one is coming up is Status. Of course, there will be many other apps also coming in, but just to give you an example, just to give you a perspective, okay? So what I mean to say here is that whatever app that you have, for example, social media, you have Facebook. Now the new one is Teamit and Akasha, whatever, right? Now, so what we have seen is the new products, new apps are already being built. Now, here is something that I also important I want to share with you. Now, if you look at the Facebook today, Facebook is a company worth, let me see the asset. The total asset for Facebook is about $84 billion. Okay, that's for the Facebook, $84 billion. Now, here's the shocking part. Do you know how old Facebook is? Do you know how old Facebook is? Not more than 14 years ago. So 14 years ago, the Facebook was formed, right? And this is worth 84 billion. Now I want to give you some example. Let's talk about some of the Indian company. Okay, so let's talk about maybe Reliance. Okay, so Reliance is, how old is Reliance, do you think? How old is Reliance? Reliance is, okay, let's first see the net worth of Reliance. What's the total asset? The total asset for Reliance is 43 billion. Now this is what it says according to Wikipedia, don't quote me wrong. This is 43 billion 2016. Okay, so total asset for Reliance is 43 billion. The total asset for Facebook is 84 billion. You see, Facebook has beaten Reliance in terms of net worth. Now in terms of age, which is the older company? Which is the more older company? Of course, Reliance. Reliance was formed 52 years ago. Okay, and the Facebook was formed 14. Was it 4? Okay, let me just check once again. When was the Facebook formed? 14 years ago. So you have 52 years old company, you know, valuing less than a 14 years old company. What do you understand here? What you understand here is the internet is much bigger. The companies, the tech companies which are built on internet are far bigger and better than the traditional company, and that is why Facebook is already beating Reliance. Okay, so similar thing with Google. Google was founded in 1998. Okay, and this is again, Google is about what? I am right now talking on Google because YouTube is a product of Google, and Google is about what? What's the net worth of Google? Let's have a look. So it's about, I can't find it. All right, I can't find the net worth of this, the total asset. Let's have a look at the Amazon. Amazon is again not more than 24 years old, and the total asset is 131 billion, it says, right? So here is the example. Now the companies which are much older than these new companies, if you look at the Forbes list today, right? The Forbes list talks about, let's say number 1 is Jeff Bezos with Amazon, Bill Gates number 2, and then Warren Buffett number 3, number 4. Now over here, as long as I know, okay, you have Jeff Bezos, an internet company, Bill Gates, internet company, 2, Mark Zuckerberg, internet company, 3, and so yeah, out of these 10, there are 3 which are from the internet company, right? And here is, you have the new list of billionaires. Now, I'm not sure whether you're finding it interesting, guys. Let me know if you're finding it interesting. Let me know in the chat box, okay, if you're finding it of any interest. Here is a new list of billionaires. Now, this is the list of billionaires, not billionaires probably, but the richest people in cryptocurrencies. And over here, you see BINANCE founder already. You have this guy here. I don't know who he is. Okay, that is Joseph Lubin, I guess, and then of course you have Vitalik Buterin, you have Brian Armstrong, Coinbase. So what we see here is a little bit of similarity, right? So you have again the blockchain companies, people who are into blockchain space, whether it's an exchange or whether it's a platform. These guys are the next. Looks to be, you know, they look to be the next richest people in the on the planet Earth. So I mean, don't be surprised in the next 10 years or next 20 years you see the new list of billionaires already. You see the new list of world's richest people. Now, because nobody really knew if somebody would have told you that in 2000 or 2002 or 2004 or 2006 that, you know what, in the next 10 years from now you will see the list of billionaires or new richest people which will be from the internet space. You wouldn't believe them probably, and many people would not believe them, but that is what the truth is today, right? And it's the same thing goes for the cryptocurrency space also. A lot of people wouldn't believe you when you say the next billionaires or the next richest people on the Forbes are going to be from the blockchain and cryptocurrency space. Most people might not believe you, but isn't it there a relation between these two, right? And yeah, and another thing that I want to share, I want to give you some examples, right? So here is my Instagram account, And I've already shown you the difference, the Web 2.0 and the Web 3.0, how the new apps, the old apps are slowly will be slowly replaced by the new apps, which is a blockchain app in the future. And some of the examples we already see, but like Chrome for Brave, Facebook for Steemit, WeChat for other things, right? You have cloud storage for like Amazon and Google, you have storage and IPFS, and there are so many others coming in. You have operating system, Android and iOS being replaced with EOS, Ethereum. Now, these are all at early stage, right? I may be dreaming, but this is where I see, right? So this is the pure example of where we are heading. Okay. Now, another example I want to show you. Now, this is so important because you see, for Facebook did not become Facebook in one day. Now, they were formed about 14 years ago. After 14 years ago, I think in the last 4 to 5 years, Facebook has really picked up, right? It's become a $1 billion company. So it took time. It took 14 years, guys. Now, this is something that we all should keep in mind, that nothing happens overnight. Amazon wasn't a successful project in overnight. In fact, I have a story about Amazon. So Amazon.com, when it was invented, right, there were so many other .coms also over there. I mean, probably you would already know that everyone talks about the .com bubbles, right? So there were so many .coms already. Out of all those .coms, just one .com survived, or maybe a couple of more. I'm not really sure, because I don't think I was in census in 2000 or during the during the .com bubble. I don't know. I think I don't know. But here's the thing, right? Out of all those .coms, only Amazon.com is the successful project. So it took time. The point I'm trying to make is it didn't happen overnight. Amazon took 24 years, Facebook took 14 years, and Google took some time, right? Google had to replace Yahoo and others. So here's the thing, right? Let's talk about this. Now, this is another picture that I posted on the Instagram. By the way, I do keep posting a lot of pictures on Instagram, so which I find really interesting. So in case if you're there, do check that out. So number of years it took for each of product. Number of years it took for each of these internet products to reach a 50 million users. Okay, the numbers of years it took for each product to reach 50 million users. Here's the thing. Now, this is such an important thing. Now, I know a lot of people who get started in the cryptocurrency space, and in the next 1 month, in the next 2 months, on the next 6 months, they want to become the next billionaire. They want to become the next millionaire. They get depressed with the price. Well, the market is not going up. Let's have a look at the market. In fact, the market is not going up. The market is going down. I'm losing money and things like that, right? This is something that we should all relate to. Okay, look at the market condition right now, and I'm sure many people are depressed, and of course, so this is something that I always say, that when you are entering the cryptocurrency space, do not have a short-term mentality, have a long-term mentality. Get your fundamentals right, get your basics right, and this is so important. If you don't have the basics right, you will sell all your BTC, or you will sell all your Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, EOS, and you'll exit out. You know, I'm sure you would have heard the story that so many people actually sold the Facebook shares or Google shares or Amazon shares about 10 years back. They didn't hold these shares, right? They sold these shares, and you know what happens, sir. So the point I was trying to make here is that when it comes to the adoption, right, this takes time, right? So here is an example. Here's a picture here that says the number of years it took for each product to reach 50 million users. So of course, they have spoken about automobile, telephone, electricity, credit cards. Credit card, it took about 28 years. Now everybody is using debit card or a credit card, right? Internet, it took 7 years. In India, it took even more than that. In India, I would say it took 25 years. Now my question is this, that do you have patience to wait for another 10 years or 15 years? Do you have that kind of patience? You know, because that's really important. YouTube, it took 4 years for the YouTube. Right now I'm talking on YouTube to you, but YouTube wasn't a YouTube, right? I think it took 4 years for people to actually onboard that video video platform. Nobody knew anything about the YouTube, right? They thought that it's a random platform where people are putting some cat video and all that, and nobody is going to watch videos on YouTube. But today everybody is watching videos on YouTube, right? So it took 4 years. PayPal, it took 5 years. Facebook, it took 3 years. I think it took more than 3 years, right? And so Twitter, it took 2 years. So it took time for all these products to reach that $1 billion mark, $1 million mark. And so similarly, it took time for these guys right here to become the next billionaire or millionaire or the next richest man. You know, one of the good things that happened with these guys is these guys were early adopters, okay? And so this is the only similarity that I see between the cryptocurrency people, the blockchain space people, and these kind of people. Because if you see, the similarity is both of them are early adopters. Like, you are an early adopter and these guys were also the early adopters. Now, here are some pros and cons for being early adopters. When you're an early adopter, people around you are not going to believe you. People around you are going to ask you a question as that, you know, is that right? I'm sure Mark Zuckerberg had a lot of questions that, is this thing people are going to use Facebook? You know, a lot of people would have told Amazon that nobody is going to buy anything on Amazon, right? So those are kind of criticism that you saw. And it's the same thing right now happening. People are saying, who is going to use Bitcoin? Who is going to use Ethereum? Bitcoin is for criminals. You know, nobody's going to use this cryptocurrency. It's so volatile. It's losing its value. But you know where it's all going, right? So one of the important things that I also wanted to share is the time frame. For example, if you look at these companies, the traditional company that we always see like Reliance, Tata, and many other companies, it took, I mean, they are more than 50 years. Some of them are 60 years. Some of them, companies like Tata is more than 150 years. And I'm sure there are some international companies which are also more than 50 years and 60 years. Still, when you see the list of billionaires, you will see most of these people are from internet. Why is that? I mean, Facebook is just about 14 years old and much richer than all these old companies, right? So I think this is what the point I was trying to make, that the cryptocurrency and blockchain space, it's so important to realize, to keep these fundamentals in our mind, to keep these things in our mind and think from that perspective. You know, because if you have your mindset ready, if you have perspective ready, then I think you know, it's better. It's better. Okay, I'm just going to be talking to you now. I've just got some coffee now here. All right, so Umesh says, I would want to disagree on Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates. I have worked for both of MS and MB. Both of them came with a gray area of intellectual theft of someone. Oh yes, I have heard of that, Umesh. I think the Mark Zuckerberg idea, which was Facebook idea, was first belonged to Winklevoss brothers, who are now Bitcoin enthusiasts, right? So Winklevoss brothers, good you said that, good you shared that with me. I'm not sure about Winklevoss brothers, right? Winklevoss twins, right? So these guys were the early adopters of the idea of Facebook actually belonged to the Winklevoss brothers. These are the guys. See here, it says Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss tried to use Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg. So yeah, I think that Facebook was the idea which was initiated by them. I think Mark Zuckerberg happened to steal the idea. That's what I think. Hey Deepak, yeah, but maybe I think it's the same thing for MS. But yeah, they were adopters of moving trends, and that's why they are. Exactly, yeah. I mean, exactly. Pratap says, hello, bhai, Dinakar. Hodl, what's up, everyone? Hey, Dinakar, NTN DVD, true said it takes time. You're right about things not happening overnight. I agree that crypto has not blossomed this year as expected. Yeah. Is it not? But he kept themselves transformed with changing with. Exactly, not because of the internet. Of course, the internet came later on. He was a part of the early early technology, which is the Microsoft, which is computer, right? So yeah, that's the point. Everybody is asking to stay away from BitMEX. Oh yeah, BitMEX is a very dangerous platform, guys. Unless and until you are okay to go ahead and do some kind of gamble, definitely be careful of BitMEX. Robert says, I always look for billionaires because we will all be billionaire after a few months once Bitcoin hits 1 million. Yeah, soon. Yeah, I think BitMEX CEO is also very rich. Yeah. Hi Rakesh, what's up? Hey Andy, smash the like. Guys, smash the like, please. Bye, I need to go to somewhere. I'll miss the live. Bye. Alright, take care, Andy. We will celebrate after we will be billionaire. In India, though, it's time to buy, I believe. Yeah, I think it's a time to buy because the market looks pretty good right now. The market is pretty good. Market is pretty much stable. It's been like a very stable market for quite a few months. So I think you don't know when the next jump is. So definitely be ready. Take your position. Yeah. Not an investment advice, guys. I have to keep repeating this. I know that you get bored of hearing this statement, but can't help it but say this. Rosie Bora, hi. Count yourself in. Yeah, so this is what I wanted to share, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I think it's so important to have this perspective, and really important to know that every product, every project that you see on the coin market will take some time, but also it's really important that most of them will fail, just like not all the .com became Amazon.com. Some of those cryptocurrencies may not be surviving in the next 5 years or 10 years. This is the Brand Armstrong, CEO, Coinbase. He's already counting to 900 million, 1 billion, as you can see. We already saw how Binance reported to be more profitable than the Deutsche banks. So how many proofs do you want? I mean, it's already happening. It's just that it will take some time, guys. So that's all I wanted to share. Definitely we will keep this discussion going on because I think it's worth repeating it. It's really important to keep this in our mind and remind everyone who is joining new, and that's how we grow. So that's all I wanted to share. Thank you so much for joining. I guess both of us agree that if we believe that we have missed to keep ourselves updated and the transformation of the market and the patience will be in the list. Yeah, 100% agree with you, Umesh. Thank you so much for saying that. Yeah, guys. So thank you so much for joining. I appreciate your opinion, your comment, and it was wonderful. I will see you all tomorrow. Until then, take care, and remember the next billionaire list in the next 10 years. I'll see you tomorrow.